What is the best thing a girl can tell you after spending a night with you? Oh my god, I've never come like that before. Better. Jesus Christ, I have to bring my best friend for a threesome with you. Even better. I'm posting on my blog that no girl can live her life without fucking you at least once. Or even better, I'm going to write the next 50 Shades of Grey, and it's going to be about you. What if I told you this video will teach you how to get girls tell you these kinds of things, and even better? Things you wouldn't imagine are even possible. And I can prove it. Sounds overpromising, right? Well, give me a chance. If I don't deliver on what I promised, just leave this video and never hear from me again. But if there's a slight chance that what I'm saying is true, you shouldn't miss the opportunity to listen. Also, I have scientific proof for these promises. So let's make a deal. If I keep my promise, I want you to send me a thank you email later. If you love great sex, or don't want your relationships to end because your girl is getting bored in bed, then you need to watch this video and use the methods I'm about to teach you. The best-selling book of all time, besides the Bible, is 50 Shades of Grey, which is basically a porn book for women. Millions of women read 50 Shades and they loved it. They adore the guy in this book, and this story made them horny. It did something that no other book or movie did before. It talked to their hidden, secret desires. What if I told you that I know exactly what these are? And even better, I could turn you into the real version of Christian Grey, the book's main character. The guy that most women in the world secretly want to fuck. Do I have your attention now? Before we start, one warning. This story might make you horny, so make sure you're not on a bus or in a classroom, as that could get a little embarrassing. Are you ready? Let's begin. My name is Shai, and my teenage life and early 20s were just like my childhood. I was shy. That means no sex. At all. It all started when I liked a girl for the first time. Her name was Tina. We were playing Spin the Bottle one day, and my friend tried to help me and make us kiss. In the middle of the kiss, she said that I'm a bad kisser and stopped, in front of everyone. Can you imagine the embarrassment I felt? A month later, I found out that she was dating that same friend of mine. This made me lose what little confidence I had in the first place. A few years later, the most embarrassing thing happened to me, and it made everything change. As you can imagine, I was very horny and frustrated, which makes sense when you're a 20-year-old virgin, no? So for my 20th birthday, one of my friends thought that it would be funny to throw me a big surprise and bring a hooker to my birthday party. He tried to hide the fact that he paid her, but that didn't work, and I found out before we did anything. I was so embarrassed and disgusted. That was the moment when I decided that I needed to make a big change in my life, and as soon as possible. So I started working on myself. I read books on self-esteem, on dating, on social skills, and on body language. I started to believe in myself. I started dating for the first time, and just had bad luck the first few times. A few months after my first bad date though, I got lucky and found myself in bed with an amazing girl. Someone who was way out of my league, and honestly, I still have no idea how it happened. Maybe it's because I wasn't expecting anything and it made me more relaxed. When we started having sex though, I just couldn't reach orgasm. In the middle of the sex, I was so nervous that I lost my erection, and the rest is history. She was actually mad at me, as if I somehow did it on purpose. I thought to myself that it was because it was my first time. My second time, using some alcohol, I made it happen. But then the third and the fourth time, it happened again. I couldn't orgasm. My penis just wouldn't get hard for long, and if it did, I had a problem coming. So here I am, thinking that I messed up and that something is wrong with me, and I was too embarrassed to talk about it with anyone. One day, at a friend's party, I met this girl named Michelle. I swear to God that what I'm about to tell you happened exactly like this. We started talking and I just felt it click. We went to my apartment and started making out, when she suddenly stopped and yelled at me in a dominant voice. "Get naked and wait for me in the bed, bitch!" Believe me, I was fucking shocked. I did exactly as she told me and I felt amazing. I felt the adrenaline in my body, and I felt how my heart started beating stronger from the excitement. Excitement combined with crazy horniness. I got undressed and lied on the bed, horny as fuck. She came into my room wearing tight latex. Only the next morning I realized she was carrying it in her bag. What the fuck? Anyway, I can only describe what happened next in one way. Fuck yeah. I got up to kiss her, and she slapped my face and grabbed me by my throat and said, "I said lay down, bitch." This was really my first time with a girl. My real first time. She tied my arms to the sides of the bed and started riding my dick like I was a rodeo bull. 10 minutes later, I had the orgasm of my life. That was the day when I realized that there was nothing wrong with me. I just wasn't into normal sex. I like kinky sex. As a matter of fact, I think all people would be into kinky sex if they just found out about it the right way. The day I realized that, my life was never the same. It took some time until I was fully okay with all my kinks. But once I accepted it and understood that I'm a BDSM guy and that's what I like, the girls began to come, and come, by the numbers. Before we continue, you might think that if you're into BDSM, that means you're weird, or maybe that something might be wrong with you. Let me assure you, not only are you a completely normal person, studies also show that BDSM practitioners are healthier and less neurotic than those with a tamer sex life. You need to be okay with what you like as long as it doesn't hurt anyone without their consent. In this video, I will teach you how to do some of the basic things that can change your sex life. Trust me, I keep my promises. And what will it do to your sex life? Well, one of my exes just texted me a week ago and said, "Man, you ruined me. Since we've been sleeping together, I can't have sex with anyone else. If I'm having vanilla sex with a guy, I never come. Not even after an hour of sex. Only BDSM can make me come. I don't know if I love you or hate you for getting me into this." I'll tell you a secret about this girl. I'm the first guy to make her come after years of frustration with vanilla sex. I am also the guy who helped her overcome her anxiety. You see, she was a really stressed out woman. Nothing helped her, not even her psychologist. After 2 BDSM sessions, her anxiety was gone. Even people at work asked her about it. I searched online about BDSM and found studies which proved that BDSM reduced anxiety because it affects the limbic pain regions in the brain. Sounds crazy, right? But I'm living proof that it works. So back to the story. I decided that I want to know everything there is to know about BDSM and kinky sex. I started talking to almost every girl I met about BDSM and kinky sex 5 minutes after we met. You probably think the girls hated that, right? Wrong. They loved it. As you can imagine, I was never good at picking up girls, but after a few months of research and experiment with sex, I felt like a pickup artist and even better. I knew what their secret desire was. I wasn't switching girls every day. I was collecting them. They had no reason to leave me. And if I liked the sex, I had no reason not to fuck them again, reaching better and better orgasms with them. Of course, I don't recommend that everyone just start talking about BDSM and sex with girls you just met. You need to know how to approach the subject. I really don't have pickup skills, so I'm not going to talk about the philosophy of this. I just know what gets girls horny, and that is something I can teach you. Even if she isn't a fan of BDSM yet. I then decided for the first time to teach someone to do what I know. I was living with a roommate 2 years ago, and he was always shocked by the number of different girls I was bringing to the apartment. We had many arguments about this, since he couldn't sleep because of the noise we were making, and some of the girls were forgetting their things all around the place. One day he asked me, "Brother, tell me the truth. What lies are you telling them in order to bring them here?" The following part might surprise you. I never lied to anyone. It's all about honesty and confidence. It might be weird for you, but girls like sex just as much as men do, sometimes even more. He begged me to tell him how I do it. I told him, but that there was one condition. If it worked, he wasn't allowed to complain about the noise or the mess again. It was a good deal, so he agreed. I told him 7 of my easiest secrets and techniques, 3 of which I'll tell you now. Number 1. The first tip is the number 1 thing you should never, ever do with women. I'm serious. Listen carefully, because this is the big difference between a regular man and the type of men girls get addicted to. If you want your sex partner to get addicted to you, you must never, ever leave a girl in your bed without an orgasm. Never leave her unsatisfied. I hear it so many times. After the guy comes, he doesn't care about the girl at all and doesn't bring her to satisfaction. It might seem like something too simple, even to people who aren't into BDSM. If you want the sex of your life, you need the girl to be happy in bed with you. It's not just one time either. It has to happen every time. With BDSM, each time your sex will be getting better and better, even better than you ever thought it could be. I know what you think, that not all girls can orgasm. The thing that guys don't quite get is, it's not just about the physical things you do in bed. It's also the psychological things you do in bed. I call it the psychology of sex, and I'm teaching people how to do it. You need her to understand that you are unique, and unique guys make sure their partner is fully satisfied. If I want to keep her, I never let a girl leave without her having at least 2 orgasms in one night. It's very important, especially if she's not into BDSM yet and I can't use all of my tricks. If I come and she's still horny, I'll go down on her. I'll play with toys. I'll use my fingers. I will always keep my girl fully, and sometimes over, satisfied. I will also make sure her mind is in the right place, which is just as important as the finger and the tongue techniques. Unless you're really lazy in bed, which is a bad thing to be, you must learn these things. Tip number 2. You need to really enjoy sex. Again, this is not as simple and as obvious as you might think. Be open with what you want. No kink is too much. I know a lot of people who are ashamed of their fantasies and kinky desires. If you really want to make a girl have the orgasm of her life, ask her what she really wants. I mean, yeah, it really is that easy. Honey, I want to ask you something. What's the kinkiest, nastiest fantasy you've ever wanted to do and never had the courage or partner to do it with? Man, just by asking that one question, she'll get wet and you'll thank me. There are 2 things that make this question so powerful. The first is, chances are that no one has ever asked her this kind of question. You'll be the unique guy who takes care of her fantasies, and trust me, you want to be this guy. The second thing is, just by asking her this question, she'll begin to visualize all of her nastiest and kinkiest fantasies, and let me tell you, nothing gets a girl hornier and wetter than her own mind can. Make sure to ask it with confidence. If she's ashamed of it, the only way she will agree to it is if you're confident about it. Afterwards, you'll be the guy she can trust and tell all her fantasies to, and the one who can actually make her fantasies come true. And she will always be there for you. Even if she gets another boyfriend, she will always come back to you. Tip number 3. Now, I want to teach you one of my secret techniques that makes nice, shy girls beg me to tie them up and spank their asses. Ready? Here it goes. Most guys that speak to girls, even experienced BDSM guys trying to convert vanilla girls into BDSM slaves or mistresses, try to talk about the kinky stuff as if it will suddenly change her. I'll put you in bondage, I'll spank your ass, I'll make you scream. But if the girl is vanilla and has never tried it before, why would she do anything different now? This isn't how to get things done. Others will say that if she's not into it, then she's just not into it, right? Wrong. So what's the secret of turning a shy girl into a kinky BDSM girl? The secret is not about telling her what you're going to do to her. Instead, tell her what she's going to feel while you're doing it. For example, don't tell the girl that you want to tie her down. Instead, lower your voice. Speak slowly and look into her eyes and say with confidence, "You know that feeling right before you come? When your body is tight and you pull yourself like crazy? Imagine that, but you can't control it. Imagine someone controlling your orgasm for you. Imagine that it feels so good that you're going to explode. And when your body goes all tight, you want to move your hands, but you can't." Get closer to her while saying that and touch her leg. You feel like a wild animal in a cage. You scream like crazy. And when you finally come, it feels like nothing you've ever felt before. It's like your body just learns how to fully satisfy itself. You will never think about an orgasm the same way. I'll give you 3 seconds to think about it. What was the result of my roommate learning these 3 things and 4 more tips I saved for later? Imagine yourself. Exactly 1 month later, he had an orgy with 3 different girls. How did he do it? Simple. None of the girls who slept with him wanted to leave him. So now you see the promise I made at the beginning of the video is possible. One thing you should know about me, as all the girls I date know about me, I always keep my promises. It was just a matter of time before I got more and more girls to like BDSM. And many of them asked me to teach them how to do it with other guys. But the thing is, I wanted to control who knew my stuff, because I didn't want to lose my advantage. Maybe that was still my low confidence from the past talking, but I didn't want to teach any techniques for guys. Think about it. If you found a secret way to get every girl you fuck want you more and more, would you give it away? Maybe just to your brother or your best friend, but no one else. That was a problem I needed to solve. I was very protective of these methods and I knew it was too greedy. I was raised in a family that taught me to share knowledge, but I was having the time of my life. The most beautiful part of everything I did is that all these girls kept coming back for more. They were having trouble having sex with other guys because it just wasn't fun anymore, unless they happened to fall completely in love with them. These methods can't compete with love, but they can help it. So why the hell would I share them? The crazy thing is, not only did my sex life become amazing, but I got better at work too. I didn't know how to explain it then, but I felt more relaxed and casual. I felt better. Not only in bed, but in general. It all made sense when I saw a study my roommate sent me. A new study finds that practitioners of BDSM score better on a variety of personality and psychological measures than vanilla people who don't engage in unusual sex acts. You can search for these studies yourself if you want to. You can understand why I didn't want to tell anyone. But then, 2 things happened. First, my high school crush broke up with her boyfriend, the guy who used to be my best friend. After so many years, I really thought they were going to get married. But guess who was there at the right moment? My roommate. He knew the story, so he made sure that she'd meet me at our apartment as soon as possible. I wrote all of the details of the amazing first sex we had in my secret blog, but I'm not going to read it for you now. You can imagine for yourself how excited I was. Long story short, she won't be getting back with him anytime soon. Not unless I let her go, that is. In fact, while I was writing this text on my laptop, she was naked in the kitchen making us spaghetti. That made the lack of confidence I had heal forever. I had no more wounds left open. I mean, I had everything by now. Girls begging me to fuck them again and again, even if we weren't dating. Girls coming back to me after years. 5 women offered to pay me money when I didn't want to fuck them. And one of them didn't even know me. She just heard about me from a friend. It's really funny now to think that during all this time, I still had this wound that needed to heal. The second thing is that one day I talked with a friend, a guy who teaches diet courses. I saw how happy he got seeing his students lose weight. I mean, he was really proud for getting people to succeed in their goals. It's like the happiness of a father who sees his child walk for the first time. He told me, "See that girl with the sexy body? That's because of me." I realized I felt the same way. I was happy to know that my friends and some of the girls who I taught BDSM to are now having the time of their lives because of me. I realized that I was proud of their success and it made me happy. That was the point when I found the confidence to teach others. At first, I started by teaching the girls I sleep with. Then guys started coming. And then I realized that I just can't teach everyone in person because there are only 24 hours in a day. So I decided to make a video course. I will show you lots of examples. Yes, exactly the examples you're thinking about. Techniques and homework I promise you'll do. I don't think your teacher or college professor ever gave you homework like fingering a girl with a special technique while whispering dirty things about what you're about to do next. If he did, give me this professor's number because my aunt is single. If your teacher will give you homework like practicing not to come during an orgy for an hour, you'll do it. So, are you into BDSM? Do you want to be into BDSM? If you're still not sure, listen to this. A study showed that BDSM sex makes you and your partner's orgasms more satisfied and powerful. Why? Because regular sex only stimulates some areas of your brain, while BDSM stimulates a lot more areas, using pain and other acts to release more endorphins and other hormones, which make your orgasm a lot better than when you're having regular sex. Remember I told you I have scientific proof of the promise I made at the beginning of the video? Like I said, I keep my promises. Think about it carefully, because there might not be a way back for you. Once you learn my BDSM methods, you will not want to be a vanilla again. I mean, I recommend it to everyone without even thinking, but clearly, I'm not objective on this. If normal common sex is all you want, that's fine by me. Just know this from my experience. I can't even begin to count the number of women who've had problems with staying in a relationship with a guy who can't fuck them right. It might happen after several months, sometimes even after 5, 6, 7 years, but she'll start remembering the previous adventure she had because she'll be bored. It all begins with having less sex and staying in the same routine. Nobody wants their relationship to die. Nobody. If you've watched this video up until now, then my guess is you're interested. In which case, I need to ask you the most important question of all. Would you like me to teach you how to get the same BDSM sex results with women as my students and I all get? If you liked my story and tips, you can have the opportunity to make them your own. Here's how it goes. There are two kinds of guys. The first guy will say, fuck yeah, I want this course and I want it now. If you're that guy, all you need to do is press the button below the video and we'll get you ready within 24 hours or less. The second is the guy who says, okay, this sounds really interesting, but I want to know exactly what you'll teach me, and then I'm in. So here's what I'm going to teach you in this unique, limitless BDSM course. The course is divided into 3 main subjects. The first is mental. This will teach you how to be whole with yourself, increase your self-esteem, and of course, teach you how to make the girl mentally yours. The second is physical. I will show you exactly how to fuck and pleasure girls, so after one fuck with you, they'll keep coming back for more and more. The third is BDSM methods. I bet that by now, you want to know everything there is to learn about BDSM, and I'll teach you just what you're looking for. How to use toys, how to use pleasure and pain, how to properly whip, how to tease her so she'll be addicted to you, and much more. These are just some of the sessions inside the course. Before I'll do anything, I want to make sure you're the most confident guy in bed. In my opinion, this is the most important session of this entire course. If you're confident in bed and life, you can basically make any mistake and get away with it. And yes, I do mean any mistake. I once called a girl I was with the wrong name. Yeah, the name of my other sex buddy. During sex. You'd think she'd slap me and storm out, right? Surprise, we laugh at that together. Aside from correcting mistakes, with these tips, your sex life will be better than your wildest dreams, and you'll just feel better, more secure, and happier with your life. There's something that will blow your mind and blow her pussy away. Teasing games. You're going to love this one. This is something not even the best pickup artist will teach you. How to tease a girl the right way, so she'll be begging for you to fuck her, and even get mad at you for not doing it already. Most teasing games have a 5-step formula you will learn during this session. This is something you will be able to do immediately with your girlfriend, or your wife, or your fuck buddy, whomever you want. Where to find kinky partners to fit your needs. Some people have trouble finding the right partners because they're missing the 3 ingredients which people who always find partners know about. I'll teach you all about them so you have no problem finding your fantasy girls. My secret method of turning a vanilla girl onto wild, kinky BDSM. If you have a vanilla fuck buddy right now, or find a nice girl that you want to go nasty with, this is the session you're waiting for. Here's where to learn the 7 steps of becoming a chick collector. Like I said, I wasn't switching girls, I was collecting them. How to achieve multiple partners and how to deal with it. You will never have to hide or lie in order to have sex with more than one partner. I used to think women don't like sex as much as we men do, and that if I wanted to have sex with more than one girl, I'd have to hide it or lie about it. Ever since I began using BDSM methods and the techniques you learn in this course, I never had to lie again. This will work even if one of the girls is your wife. I'm not kidding. This doesn't work 100% of the time. But I trained more than one couple, so you better believe it. I'm going to teach you about the orgasm of your life. Discover 4 of the most mind-blowing techniques. When performed correctly, nothing will make you and her orgasm harder. Stop being the guy who hears other people fucking through the walls. Be the guy the entire neighborhood hears when he's getting laid. If they don't like it, they can turn the music on. My neighbor and I had an agreement. I wouldn't fuck anyone after 11:30 at night on a work day. I was having a hard time with that agreement, so I just soundproofed my room instead. It cost me a lot at the time, but it was worth it. Here's a big one: communication and trust. You will discover how to make your communication deeper and reach levels of trust you didn't know existed. Not only will this make you a sex god in her eyes, but it will also improve your relationship. Also, don't let me get started on how kinky she'll get when she knows she can trust you and tell you everything. A secret technique I learned in NLP course: calibration. This one is a really good one. I will teach you how to know what your girl is really feeling at any moment. If she likes it, if it hurts, if she's about to come. Basically, you will learn how to play with her body just like a pianist plays a piano. Something I developed on my own and I'm handing straight to you. How to use BDSM as a healthy way to relieve frustration. You would not believe the effect BDSM has on your life and on your feelings. I once had a girl that was really stressed out, 24/7. One good session with me as a sub, and the next day everybody at work was asking her what happened and how she was suddenly so eased and relaxed. There are more surprises and things that will blow your mind. Things like shibari, the art of bondage. Secrets that will show you how to be aroused for hours or even days. 20 tricks of good spanking. 5 mind-blowing techniques that will make you both orgasm harder and serve each other better. The 5 most critical safety practices that must be used. Using toys. More than 30 toys that will blow your minds and her pussy. Subspace. This is an amazing one. Have you ever meditated? Imagine you are in a really deep trance and all you can feel is pure pleasure. That's a subspace. All the pleasure areas of the human body and all the painful ones. If you are like me, then you're sitting on your chair, staring at your screen with an open mouth, imagining what your sex life will look once you learn these methods and techniques. But this isn't everything. Sometimes just learning something isn't enough. You have to learn how to amplify it. That's why I filmed a full live session with explanations, so you know exactly what you need to do and how to use all the techniques you learn in the course in real life and during sex. My goal is to make sure you get everything you need to have the best and craziest BDSM kinky sex life with any girl you want. I took into account all BDSM takes from self-esteem in order to better understand BDSM and amplify it. Trust me, I keep improving the course with my students' questions and requests. Now, there's only one thing you should do. Press the button under the video now and get your private copy of the course in the next 24 hours. One of the things I noticed about the course is that people who took it become happier, more open, and reached better results in both their work and their social skills. Their confidence went up and their relationships were looking much better ever since. So this is where you hear my proposal. I've invested my heart and soul into this course. And this is why at first I was selling it online for $1,000. After a year, I made some improvements to the course before I uploaded it again. And I decided to lower the price. Why? Because I wanted people from all over the world to be able to afford it, not just people from America and Europe. So for 2 months, I decided to limit the course to just $300 for the entire course. Not half of it, not part of it, all of it. It worked, by the way. And now I have customers not just from the USA and Europe, but also from India, China, even some Arab countries. I think we should be wearing a sign of some sort, but we'll get to that later. If you want to buy this course for this price, for $300, it will be available for another couple of months. After that, the price goes up to $500. If you're interested, you can click the button below the video, and you will get access to the course in 24 hours to the email you enter. If for any reason you don't get the course in 24 hours, just write me an email and I'll fix this. So, if you want to buy this course now, the purchase button is right beneath this video. See you there! Oh, Still here? Okay. If you're still not 100% sure this course will change your life for the better, here is what people who try this course tell about their success. I watched some of the videos in the course 3 times already, just to make sure I don't miss anything, and because I like watching it. This is absolutely gold. Each time I watch the videos, it gives me more confidence and motivation, and each time I get even better. Last night I had the best sex of my life, and it's all thanks to you. I don't know how my future will look right now, but I know it will be the best time of my life. Thanks, Shai. You rock! Where have you been through my entire 20s? They should teach that in sex ed class. I never had much confidence with girls or with my sex life. I was always afraid to let myself be free and do what I really wanted to do. My ex-girlfriend was a disaster. Once I started talking about spicing things up, she told me I was crazy and I never mentioned it again for the rest of the time we were together. 2 months ago, I met a new girl and I talked to her about these things, just like you taught me. Not only did I have the most amazing sex with her on our second date, we're now in the best relationship I've ever had in my life, and it just keeps getting better. I haven't tried all the things you taught in the course yet, but I'm planning to try them all in the next few months. By the way, I told all my friends to buy it too, even the married ones. This is the most amazing shit I've seen in my life. My girlfriend told me to thank you for exposing me to this. If you ever visit Columbus and want a threesome, I'm down. Honestly, this is the best online course I've ever taken. Every night I bring home girls that I never would have even dreamed of talking to a year and a half ago. It's gotten to the point where my mom is dropping hints that I should get my own place because she's having a hard time falling asleep at night with all my recreational activities. I think I should start looking for my own apartment. My mom just started complaining about cleaning up all the jizz.